Nice to see you all here, and without further delay, my name is Tiihonen. I'm an independent dance artist based in Tampere, Finland. And as an artist, I combine different kind of elements in my work, such as film, movement, and also immersive elements. And my work is based on continuous urge to explore the dialogue between mind, body, and space through film and multimedia. I'm also interested in authentic movement and the relationship between camera, performer, and camera operator. And my co-presenter here will tell a little bit more about herself and about a project that was a short film, and that film was started about a year ago.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Hanna Kahrola. I'm a dance artist also based in Tampere, Finland. My work as artist usually emphasizes social issues and problematics of humanity. In my work, I want to look for embodied humor, moving influence, and present power of expression. I'm used to work as performer on stage as well as in public space, or more on public space lately. And also a little bit with camera, but I'm not an expert in it. I'm a collaborator of her, so that's why I'm here. Our purpose here is to present our experimental movement-based short film called Further, and to open up our current project for you. We will shortly cover issues like what our film is all about, what did the collaboration give to us, and what kind of objectives and aims we set for our collaboration and for our project. Next you will see our Screen.Dance film called Further. It is an abstract story about a mundane everyday hero that explores the relationship and the connection between space, body, and momentariness in time. First we are going to show the film, and after that we will tell more about our collaboration.
So the screen film that you just saw follows an abstract narrative, and the final story of our film took its form when we started to edit the actual film. And this film is also an ongoing project, and the final film will see its premiere in Finland next month. So this upcoming film is also a sequel for our film that you just saw. So to begin with, I would say that our initial idea was to do something together with Hanna, and we decided to make a screen dance film. So we started to draw the outlines for this project about a year ago, and the first thing that we did was that we encountered a couple of times and we discussed our own views and insights towards dance seen on screen and movement. And the starting point of our project was collaborative, and we approach our project from our own personal premises and also from a perspective and a background of a dance artist.
After our first meeting, we watched scenes that we selected from different feature and short films together. We chose 2 films which worked as a source of inspiration or some kind of a thread or motive to our film. Those films were Maja Deren's At Land and Ilja Naishuller's Hardcore Henry. For those who do not know these films, At Land is a 15-minute experimental film written and directed and starring by Maja Deren from the year 1944. We watched the film At Land and got inspired by some of the scenes. We thought many of the scenes in that film were really interesting and tried to think how we could interpret some of the scenes in our own way. I think this was the way to try to understand what was interesting for us in filmmaking in overall. That was also important for me and Mia in order to find common texture for us in short and dance film. The other film, Hardcore Henry, from the year 2015, is a Russian-American science fiction action film written and directed by Ilja Naishuller. That film is shot entirely from a first-person perspective. First-person perspective and also the way how Hardcore Henry was filmed and edited affected us. We got inspired by the superhero character of the film and wanted to work with a mundane, everyday hero in our film too. I felt natural to work with the role of an action hero or anti-hero because I have created and used action hero and anti-hero characters in my previous work. So that was continuation for my previous work.
So, to continue, so after brainstorming and setting the objectives for our project, we started to plan our timetable. And overall, the actual filming took about 2 weeks and the editing took about 2 months. So we filmed footage. When we started to film the footage for our film, I used storyboard in order to plan what kind of camera angles I would use and how to move camera in relation to our main character. And also storyboard was a tool for me to plan what kind of movement instructions I would give to Hanna in order to get a certain kind of movement qualities and movements out of my performer. So also different kind of places and environment work as a source of inspiration for us when we filmed our work.
We filmed our film at 16 different locations. We filmed, for example, in a mall, several forest locations, in a disc golf course, on a lake, and in between spaces such as stairs and elevators. We worked more site responsively than site specifically. In site-specific work, I think the artist chooses the space. In our work, the space kind of chose us. Of course, we decided where we want to shoot the film, but at the location we related to the space as it was. We wanted to use the space and its dimensions, and also to avoid to show local features of the space.
Next, I would like to say something about our collaboration. So to say something about it, I would say that the collaboration between us was very fruitful and instructive. It revealed something about myself as a filmmaker and a director. And I learned that I have to be more clearer and more precise especially when communicating with the performers, and especially when giving movement instructions for others to move. So, and it was also extremely important, and it is extremely important for me to be able to verbalize those visual images and ideas that that emerge in my head during the actual working process, in order to be more accurate and comprehensible. And next, we would like to say a few words about our relation to screen dance, and Hanna will continue. First start.
Yeah, the reason why I'm interested in taking part in Screen.Dance project is that I find it interesting that dancing to the camera creates certain kinds of frames to the choreography and the ways of performing. I see editing process as one kind of a choreographing method. In the editing table, the choreography is built up with its own rules, potentials and realities by following and breaking the rules of moving picture. In the editing process, it is also possible to embody movement for the viewer and in that way to relay some of the dancer's experience to the spectator of the film. When dancing to the camera, I ask myself who I dance to. One answer could be that I dance to the shooter or director. I also tend to think that I dance to the future viewer. Somehow the relationship with the audience feels anonymous and personal at the same time. In this project, it has been remarkable for me to learn a lot about the relationship to the collaborator, to editing process and to the role between performer and authorship. The last of this has been important for me in all my art. I find it important to be able to interactively take part in the artistic process in a role of a performer. It develops me as artist, lets me influence and brings more layers to self-performing.
So for me, screen dance, I think that screen dance has huge possibilities to reach more bigger and diverse audiences. And I consider that screen dance makes contemporary dance and contemporary movement more approachable for those audiences who usually do not come to see contemporary dance. Secondly, for me, film and dance are equal. So I think that both of those art forms are working together by overlapping with each other, making a multi-layered, ever-changing and organic entity. And this kind of union or relationship nourishes the visual side of my creativity and also my imagination. So to conclude our presentation, so I will say that our film Further is the first part of our collaboration. And last summer we filmed quite a lot of material, and we are intending to work on with that material in the near future. And we are also interested in taking our exploration a bit further and to work with the existing material in order to make another screen dance film. So I hope you enjoy, and thank you all for listening.